Well, this is 3 years later now. I don't know if you've watched my LSD hospital trip report video, but it's 3 years later now. I'm actually in a new life program called Harvest Farm. Today I'm just going to share my experience with delirium, tremons, and meth-induced psychosis. So I mean, I'll try to keep you reeled in, I'll try my best, but yeah. I first started having delirium tremens. Delirium tremens are actually stage 3 alcohol withdrawal. Started having DTs when I was 18 years old. I remember the first time I had DTs. I'm going to tell this story. I was in a hotel room. I was 18. I was smoking meth at the time. And I fell asleep in the hotel room. And my dad bought me this hotel room because I was too drunk to drive back home. And at this point in time, my liver and organs were shutting down. I was 18 years old, man. I weighed like 96 pounds. I don't want to put a disclaimer. I'm not boasting or anything. I'm not saying, oh man, I'm a fucked up motherfucker. I'm just being honest, man. There's a difference between boasting and being honest. So, my dad got me that hotel room, and it was in Loveland. That's where I lived at the time. And I was 18 years old. I was drinking about a gallon every 1 or 2 days, gallon of whiskey every 1 or 2 days. I was smoking probably 2 or 3 grams of meth a day. So I mean, he got me that hotel room. I went in the hotel. I fell asleep that night. And I wake up in the middle of the night. My heart's beating like boom, 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 boom. My heart's going probably 108 beats per minute. I was looking at the ceiling and I saw tracers everywhere, like LSD tracers. I thought somebody broke into my room and dosed me with acid, man. I was going through DTs and I was in a meth-induced psychosis at the same time. I call that the atomic mosh pit. The atomic mosh pit is what I call it. That's got some delirium tremens and a meth-induced psychosis at the same exact time. So I was looking at the ceiling. There were bugs climbing off the ceiling, giant-ass bugs, man, fucking falling off the ceiling. I mean, I was seeing some crazy-ass shit, bro. My heart was racing. I didn't know what was going on. I was getting up, moving around. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I didn't realize that I was going for DTs. I didn't realize that I needed to drink to actually get that shit to stop. So I somehow survived that. Obviously, I'm still here today, right? I didn't go into a seizure. Not yet. I started having seizures when I was 19. We'll get into that. But, yeah, I mean, I fell back asleep. Hold on. Fell back asleep, man. I woke up, and my heart stopped racing. And I had the same meth pipe for about 4 months. It was a bubbler, one of those little twisty ones. I had the same meth pipe. That meth pipe meant a lot to me, man. I didn't name it or anything. I had the same bubbler for a long time, too. And I broke it in the hotel bathroom. At this point in time, I was very suicidal. I wanted to kill myself. So I got up that day, and I got in my car, and I drove to a park in Loveland, a park that I always used to go to. Oh, fuck. Look at those people. I'm filming a video right now. I'm filming a video. Yeah. So I'm not talking to myself. I'm just letting you know, dude. Sorry about that. Yeah, dude, I started going. I got up, I got in the car, and drove to that park. And at this point in time, like I said, I was very suicidal. I went down to a little creek. Had a gallon of whiskey in one hand, a knife in the other. I sent my brother this text, and I said, I can't find fentanyl to do the job, so I think a knife will do it. It'll just be less clean. And hopefully he doesn't notice me. I'm trying to film this fucking video. Yeah, dude. So I fucking had a knife in one hand, handle in the other, and so my brother's text that said, I can't find fentanyl to do the job, so maybe your knife will do it. It won't be as clean. So they called the cops at this point. The cops were looking for me. Everybody was trying to find me, figure out where the fuck I was. This was all happening in Loveland. I was 18 years old. So I got drunk at that creek. Ended up blacking out. Got up, went over to my car. Blacked out in my car. Or fell asleep and got blacked out, basically walked over to my car. Had a handle of whiskey laying next to me like it was a newborn child, right? Had a little bit of meth in the cup holder. About an hour later, a cop knocks on my window. I wake up and I'm like, what the what the froggy doggy, you know, kind of thing. So cop knocks, sorry about the big clouds. Cop knocks on my window. I rolled down the window, and he just, I don't remember what he said. I was very fucking intoxicated at the time. So I gave him my whiskey, he poured it out, and I was like, whatever, I'll just get more, you know. And, so then my dad and my brother show up, and my dad managed to convince him to let me go to the hospital. They drove me to the hospital, McKee Hospital in Loveland, Colorado. And, I went in the hospital, and I went into the hospital room, and I started going for DTs again. I started shaking, my legs were shaking, my hands were shaking, I was seeing tracers everywhere, and they stuck a fucking needle in me, and I hate fucking needles. I did start shooting up meth later on when I turned 20, but, you know, I hate fucking needles, man. They shoved a needle in my arm when I was going for DTs, you know, tracers in my vision, induced psychosis, all that shit, hallucinations, and they saved my life, basically, when I was 18 years old, but it didn't end there. It did not end there. After that, I went to rehab for the first time when I was 18 years old. Now, I keep telling you my age because it kind of matters, you know. I was 18 years old. I went to rehab for the first time. I got out, relapsed on meth pretty quickly. You know, but I do have another story. I mean, I know the path I walked was comforting at times, but it was time to walk away with nothing left in my soul. You know, I mean, it was very comforting at times. The path I walked was very comforting at times. But, yeah, dude, I mean, when I turned 19, I mean, I went on this, actually, I'll tell you this story. I was in sober living in Colorado Springs, and, hold on. Sober living in Colorado Springs, and, what's up, Steven? I'm filming a video. Alright. Alright. Yeah, dude. Sorry about that. People keep walking by, but yeah, fuck, where was I at? Oh yeah, when I turned 19, sober living story. I saw this buddy, his name was Graham. I don't think about him very much. But I'm sure you've heard of DXM. So we did DXM one night. The next night, he told me he wanted to kill himself, right? And I didn't fucking take him seriously, so we went fucking back to the sober living house. I watched him in the bathroom. He took a bunch of the pills. You know, I figured he was just taking enough to get high. Later that night, I woke up and I heard him groaning. He was choking on his own vomit. Went over there to push him out of the way. He was basically paralyzed at this time. You know, his vomit was coming out of his mouth. I watched it all happen. I watched him die. I literally watched him die. And, you know, sorry, this is hard for me to talk about. But I just fell back asleep, dude. I'll be real with you, man. I still have guilt for that shit, you know. I felt like I could have done something, but I fell back asleep, woke up the next day, his dead body was right there, pale as fuck, just fucking dead, dude. I'll never get that image out of my head, you know, seeing that shit, seeing a dead body like that, you know. I'm sure some of you have probably seen dead bodies, you know. It's fucked up, man. But, I mean, yeah, dude, after that, I fucking went on a massive fucking meth binge, probably about 5 or 6 months straight, every day, you know. And I'm sure if you're watching this, you've probably gone on longer binges of that, but you probably didn't hit it as hard as I did. You know, when I do drugs, I fucking do them, man. So when I started drinking again, at 19, I started drinking about a fifth a day. I didn't drink as much as I did when I was 18. I didn't have as big of a tolerance for some reason. But what happened was, my dad kicked me out of the house, and I moved into this hotel called Red Coach Inn in Lucerne, Colorado. And that's where I met a family that lived there with her mom, and had 3 boys, and they had a daughter. And I met this guy named Josiah. Now, I haven't talked to Josiah in a long fucking time. I miss him. He was my brother, you know. But I actually got him started on meth. And it's a long story, dude. I mean, I don't remember much of it, because at this time, I was 95 pounds. My face was sunken in. I had no color in my skin. I have this scar right here. You can see it from picking my face. Because I used to pick the fucking shit out of my face when I was on meth. So I'll tell you this story, though. On my last day at the hotel, at this point in time, my car got stolen. It got stolen in Loveland at a Walmart. I was drunk, and this prostitute took advantage of me and stole my fucking car. Got me drunk, got me a handle, got me drunk, stole my car. Long story short, just fucking ripped me off, dude. And you know, just acted like she was my friend, you know, fuck, you know, whatever, dude. But yeah, dude, it was rough, dude. Stole my fucking car, you know. My buddy Bill drove me back to the hotel. This is just like a normal morning, you know. I was getting drunk all night, drinking all night, you know, getting drunk, smoking meth, you know, getting high as fuck, getting drunk, you know, the normal night for me, you know. So 9 o'clock rolls around. In the morning, I was fucking shit-faced, high as fuck, and basically I went into psychotic rage. And a couple days before this, I will tell you this story. So I was on the streets for a little bit, you know. I was homeless for a little bit, not very long, you know. But mom picked me up off the streets, and I was homeless on the streets, and I would fucking go through dumpsters, try to find little shooter bottles with little bits in it. I remember this one time I was going through DTs, man, and I fucking found a Corona bottle with dirt in it and bugs in it, and I fucking drank it, dude, just to get the withdrawal to stop for just a tiny bit amount of time. That's how painful and agonizing it truly is, you know. And I fucking, yeah. So I got back to the hotel, and I fucking fell on the ground, right? I went into a fucking seizure. I was looking at the door, and I saw this white, bright light. You know, I wanted the light at the end, and I knew how to get it, man. So I saw this white, bright light. I went into a fucking seizure. I woke up. I walked over to the fucking bathroom, grabbed the fucking sink, looked at myself in the mirror, and this voice said to me, it said, drinking is more important. I'll never forget that. This auditory hallucination voice said, drinking is more important. So I fucking got another handle, and this is when that story kind of comes in. At 9 o'clock that morning, if you remember what I was talking about, 9 o'clock that morning, after that night of getting drunk, I was planning on dying. I was actually planning on dying from alcohol withdrawal. I was that low, I sunk that low into it, that I was planning from dying from alcohol withdrawal. And that's how fucking low I sunk, man. I was 19 years old, man. And, you know, I went into a psychotic rage, and, I tried to fight my buddy Josiah, and he's a big dude too, man. He didn't beat my ass, luckily, but and I don't remember any of this. I tried to hang myself too. I didn't remember doing that. I don't remember any of this shit. You know, this actually feels really good for me to talk about. I tried to hang myself, and so I went into that psychotic rage, and they called the ambulance and the cops. And apparently I threw a metal chair against a cop car. I don't remember doing this at all. I threw a metal chair against a fucking cop car. Ambulance got called in. They carried me away. And I didn't get charges either, man. They didn't press charges. They could have fucking pressed charges. I could have ended up in jail. I did end up in jail when I was 20. At 20 years old, I ended up in jail. And we'll get to that. But you know, they didn't press charges against me, man, and I'm eternally grateful for that. You know, I mean, they just took me to the hospital, and yeah, dude, I ended up in detox, not knowing how I got there. The shitty ass greedy fucking detox, waking up there, not knowing how I got there, stumbling around, trying to get a drink of water. You know, it was fucked up, man. I woke up in the greedy detox a couple times without knowing how I got there. That's a scary thing, you know. And I went through DTs for about 3 days straight, man. I was hallucinating for about 3 days straight, non-stop, non-fucking stop. I didn't know where I was, who I was in the detox. Until eventually I fucking smoked a goddamn cigarette. And I was sitting there smoking a cigarette, and I was like, wait a minute. I've done this before. And then I realized, after smoking that, for some reason, a fucking cigarette, man, got me back into reality. I was like, wow, dude, I'm here. Right? That's a fucking gnarly story right there, dude. I mean, trying to hang myself, throwing a fucking metal chair against a cop car, you know, fucking all that crazy shit. You know, just gnarly ass stuff, man. So there was this one time, well, not one time, I mean, I've gone through DTs like probably fucking dozens of times, but I was in my buddy Tyler's house, and I'm sure Tyler's watching this right now. You're my brother, man, I love you, dude, but I was in there at 4 in the morning. He was trying to sleep, and I started going through DTs. My heart was racing, and I fucking got her up, dude. He had a pint of Captain Morgan. I grabbed him by the fucking shirt collar, and it's like I forgot who he was. Right, he's my brother, dude. He's not my real brother, but he's like a brother to me, man. And like, I fucking grabbed him by the shirt collar and was like, dude, I fucking need that fucking pint, bro. And And I got that pint, and it was about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I got fucking shit-faced. I loved being drunk about 5 in the morning. I loved it, man. Just watching the sun come up, just being fucking hammered out of my mind. You know, walking around smoking meth under bridges and shit, man. That was fun. But there was a lot of good times, and there was a lot of bad times. So, I mean, I left his house, started walking down the street, just getting drunk, man, smoking meth, 5 o'clock in the morning, just walking around. And I went back to my dad's house. He locked the doors because he knew I was drinking at the time. And when my dad knows I'm drinking, that's when he knows to fucking stay away from me, man. So he locked the door. I actually went down into the window well. I broke into my fucking dad's house about fucking 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning just to smoke a bowl of dope. Drank a little bit more. And I got out. I used to have the spot behind the liquor store where I would smoke dope in front of a fucking camera. Because I didn't give a fuck. When I was drinking, man, I did not give a fuck about anything or anyone. I didn't even care about myself. All I cared about was drinking. When people say they're self-centered when they're drinking, man, you're not self-centered because all you're thinking about is drinking. You're not even thinking about yourself. You're all you're thinking about is drinking. You're not self-centered. You know, alcohol had me. I didn't consume the alcohol. The alcohol consumed me, man. You know, I mean, it had me fucking by its grips, dude. I mean, I could not fucking go without it for 30 fucking minutes. I had to have a drink every 30 fucking minutes. So Tyler gave me about $10 and he trusted me, man. He was like, here, dude, just go get me another pint, bro. And I didn't get him another pint. I fucking ripped him off, dude, because I was drinking. That story, man, where I grabbed my buddy Tyler by the fucking shirt collar. You know, crazy shit, man. So after that, man, my liver and organs were once again shutting down. I mean, my feet were purple from low circulation. You know, and I was fucking about 95 pounds, yeah. I was drinking about almost a gallon every day. So, I mean, after my liver and organs were shutting down, I was like, I gotta stop. You know, I thought I was gonna die if I kept drinking. So I knew I was probably gonna die if I stopped drinking. So I detoxed on my own in my dad's house. And my heart would palpitate for hours at a time. You've had heart palpitation, I'm sure. But imagine your heart palpitating for hours at a time. You know, just straight, man. Just boom, 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 boom. Not knowing if you're gonna live or die. I could barely breathe. I was sweating. My muscles were aching. You know, I was having hallucinations in my head. You know, people screaming in my head. Cop sirens, you know. Like women screaming in my head that weren't there. And I would go to this park bench and I would sit there, dude, and my heart would start palpitating, my muscles would ache, and I would be sitting there smoking meth. At the same time, while going through alcohol withdrawal, I would smoke meth to come off the alcohol. It was a fucked up time in my life, dude. You know, and I call it the atomic mosh pit. You know, then there's the meth matrix. You know, I'll explain to you what the meth matrix is. The meth matrix is literally where you get meth laced with PCP. Now, I've had meth laced with PCP, and that's actually not a bad time. You know, I was sitting in my fucking grandparents' house in my room, and my whole fucking room turned into a goddamn hotel lobby. I was sitting there listening to Brotherhood by Whitechapel, and in the fucking wax cart, you know, and my whole fucking... I remember, man, I used to see demons at the end of my bed. They would touch my toes and shit, like demonic figures. They would touch my toes, and I'd look away for a second. They start touching my toes. I look back. They would start touching my toes. I remember this one time I was at the fairgrounds in Loveland with my buddy Bill, and I was sitting there in his truck at the dog park parking lot, and I fucking, you know, you should first shadow people, right? That's just like fucking normal shit when you're fucking in psychosis. But I saw a fucking army of shadow people coming towards me, and they would walk towards me. They would climb over fences and shit. They would come up to me and knock on the window. I'd be sitting there smoking dope, getting drunk, and they would fucking knock on the window and shit, man. Just some crazy, all around crazy ass fucking shit. You know, but I'm probably going to end this video here, man. I mean, I'll probably record another video. But if you made it this far in the video, just type son of a cockbeaner in the comments. You know, just let me know you made it this far in the video, man. I really appreciate you. This felt good to get off my chest. I'll probably film more videos. If this gets like good, decent amount of views, I'll film more videos about my experience. I'm very open about my addiction. I mean, I do have other addictions that I still struggle with, you know, like pornography. You know, like, I mean, I'll be open about that too, you know, I mean, especially with meth, dude. I mean, I'm sure someone you've done meth, you know, it makes sex and porn like fucking 20, 100 times better, you know. But, yeah, dude, I've been sober now for over 60 days. I'm in a new life program. So I'm doing good, man. I mean, ever since last time, you know, you see, I'm not drunk right now. I'm not drinking. I'm not smoking meth. I'm sober right now, by God's grace. Thank you.